Hello everyone, this is Kike with NicoSite.net, and today I've got a little review for you guys on, normally I don't think we've ever done a ROM review before, but I feel that um, it would be something that we could definitely get started at here at NicoSite, and well, I figured I'd try one, see if you guys like the videos. If you hate the videos, just let us know and we'll see what we can do from here. But this is our first ROM review, I believe. So let's get started. So here I've got my Galaxy S2. It's a i777. I know that a lot of you might be European, and so you have the i9100, or perhaps even the i9300 if you have the Galaxy S3. And that's why I chose this ROM to review. This is a Slim ROM, SlimBean to be more specific. As you can see from this list I've got pulled up on my desktop, it'll cover the Nexus devices, the Galaxy devices, and one of the HTC phones. But I mean, you've got the i9000 covered, you've got the Captivate, the Vibrant, all of the American. These are the American Galaxy S2s, the European Galaxy S2, and I believe this is the Korean Galaxy S2. We've got the N7000, the i717, which is the American Note, and we've got the AT&T, Rogers, Bell, and Telus Samsung Galaxy S3. So I'm hoping that this ROM will be a ROM that all of you can try if you're interested in this sort of stuff. And that's why I chose this ROM. Personally, I run it on my i777 because I don't have a Galaxy S3, and well, so I figured I'd try to run it on a Galaxy S2. So let's get started. The ROM is extremely light, hence the name Slim ROM. It runs at an entire, I believe it's 85.13 megabytes. And that's the entire ROM, whereas, for example, CyanogenMod would run at around 160 megabytes, and AOKP would run about 200 megabytes. As you can see right here, let me pull something up so I can make sure that you guys can see some of this stuff. This is Android 4. I've got to find the focal point for this thing. That's not good. Sorry, I apologize for the quality. Like I said, I don't own a camera. This is a webcam. This is Android 4.1.2, so it's the latest and greatest iteration of Android until apparently November 17th, when the new Nexus will arrive. And this is based on JZ054K, which is the firmware, the build number for the ROM. So we'll start out with some of the features. When you pull up your settings button, you get your standard connectivity, so Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, data. This does have NFC and Android Beam, and it has quite a few APNs, access point names. Then you get your ASS settings, or AS settings, or whatever you want to call them. They're the ROM settings. So you get your device options, which will be system specific. So if you're on a Galaxy S2, you'll get the Galaxy S2 options, which include calibration for the gyroscope, the color bias on the screen. You can enable negative mode. You can mess with the gamma to get different color combinations, and you can turn on 4G only, 3G, and I believe that there's a 2G toggle. I haven't tried it. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't work, simply because of how most phones, at least here in the US, work. So you guys can try that out and let me know if it does work for you. Under interface, we have a bunch of options, like you can set custom carrier labels. You've got your power widget up here. You can have as many toggles as you want. You get a reboot toggle. You can enable the kill button in your main screen. You can change the pixel density, and this one I really like because it'll start out with 182 dots per inch, or pixels per inch, sorry, and it makes your phone seem like it's absolutely enormous, and I kinda don't like that. I like this. It's 240 dots per inch. It's perfect. You have tablet mode. You've got your navigation bar in case you want the Nexus buttons down here. You can customize all of those. You can, like I said, you've got your power toggle. Your brightness toggle right here. You can, if you do have hardware keys, you can customize what each of them does. You can customize the sound if you want an ascending ringtone or not. And you've got your display. You can enable 270-degree rotation. Yep. You can use your phone upside down like a total hipster, or something cool like that, or sideways, or this way. You can mess with your lock screen. A bunch of cool stuff. It also has an over-the-air application. Now, this personally hasn't been working for me, but some of the international builds might be working. You get your performance settings, so you can run some startup tweaks. Like, for example, you can zip-align all of your applications to make sure that each application is running as smoothly as possible. Project Butter is integrated into this ROM, so you will need the either the CyanogenMod kernel that comes with it, because it has the Mali graphics drivers if you are on a Galaxy device, or it has the or you'll need a kernel like I think Zia, or I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Sija, something cool like that. Has they have the Mali drivers integrated. You can mess with your processor. You can set values on boot. I've been having some issues with that, but it's not a big deal because you can always use another application. You can change the input scheduler. This should be a new up. Voltage control. Again, all of this can be done through the ROM or through other applications. There's this really cool option for high-end graphics, which makes things a lot smoother, in my opinion. It does come with the CyanogenMod theme engine integrated, the T-Mobile theme engine, and it's great because, as you can see by my lovely drawing here, CM10 plus AOKP equals love, and that love gives birth to SlimROM. It's really a great ROM. You've got your sound settings, so all of your other Android settings, and then you have your developer options. And I would recommend that you come in here and make sure that hardware overlays and the GPU rendering are ticked, because it makes your phone that much smoother. As you can see, this is perfectly smooth. I don't think my webcam does it justice. I think it only does 30 frames per second, but good God. I will pull my phone out in front of people and be like, have you ever played with butter? And they'll be like, what is wrong with this kid? And I'll be like, here, slide it. And they'll be like, wow, that is pretty impressive, because it is so smooth. And normally I run my phone at either 800 or 1 gigahertz. So 800 megahertz or 1 gigahertz, and it's so smooth you won't believe it. So as you can see, it's really snappy. It's great. I'm running at 1200 megahertz right now, and that is for a benchmark purpose. So I will run a benchmark for you guys. Now I will tell you that I've gotten scores around 4300 in the past. So whatever you want to take that for, take it as it's your phone. I personally don't like how the benchmarks work, but if you are interested, then here's your little bit of the video. While this goes on, I will talk about battery life. Battery life on this ROM is pretty darn great. As I said, I am on the i7-77, which is hardware-wise, it's practically identical to all of the international unlocked models. So, for example, the i9000. It comes with a 1650 milliamp battery, and I have been getting, like, on a really lucky day, 5 hours of screen time, and I like to keep it on lower but sometimes auto brightness, so it's definitely the best battery life I've had. Yeah, it's actually a really good. I have no problems with getting it through a day with it. I mean, I will check my email. Like I said, I will usually get about 5 hours of screen time by the time I'm done with my phone and it's time to charge it up again. Okay, so we've got scores right here. Oh, this one's low, 3211. That's kind of weak. Let's run it again and see what happens. I think I'm also not running a very performance-oriented governor. I think I'm running the, I can't remember if it's the conservative or the hyper governor, but I know that the hyper governor isn't too great for performance. So you want either on demand or performance. Anyways, yeah, it's a really great ROM. I would definitely recommend it to all of you. Let's see, flaws with this ROM. Can I think of any flaws? The installation is kind of tedious. I guess if you've gotten this far into like actually ROMing and rooting your phone and that kind of stuff, you really aren't against putting some work into your phone. I will tell you that installing this ROM will require you to, let's see, what were the steps? You have to go onto the slimroms.net website, download the file for your device. As of right now, the latest file is 2.9, so you want to download that. Then you want to install that, and you also want to download the Slim Google applications. And then if you want stuff like, so it went up a little bit, 3315. If you do want, like for example, Face Unlock, it is working with the phone. You just have to configure that and download the application yourself. And the configuration process isn't hard, it's just the installation, and then I think that's it actually. I'm not sure why I'm calling it configuration. Then also, I don't like this thing on the lock screen, but that's just me. I mean, it really doesn't look that bad. I'm just really picky. You get, I think it's up to 8 toggles on here that you can change. You can get your weather and your, so I've got my calendar right here. As you can see, it says World Domination, because that's always on my calendar. And then you can get, Google Now is working. Let's see. We'll ask it something cheesy like, what's the weather like? Oh, that's lame. It's already giving me the weather. Clear it, clear it. Let's try it. Google, what's the weather like? Oh, look at that. Oh, it's talking to me. Let's see. We'll ask it. Let's see. How old is President Obama? Oh, that's lame. It didn't give me. Okay. Well, as you can see, it's working. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, you get the Holo launcher when you install it. You can replace that if you want. Just make sure you freeze the application or just install a new one. I'm running Nova launcher just because I like Nova launcher more. But yeah, it's really a great ROM for everyone. So tell us what you think of it if you have flashed it. And if you haven't, then give it a shot. I recommend it. Let us know if you're having problems. I'd be happy to help. And also give us suggestions for our Nico site and tell us what you think. Bye-bye.